Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about bonus attributes on gear, which ones are going to be the best for your class, and just some general information about bonus attributes you probably want to know. So let's go ahead and get right to it, and I'll go ahead and show you guys my character and my gear as a little bit of an example here. So let's go ahead and open up my character profile, and we'll just go ahead and use my necklace as a quick example. So we've got the Savagery necklace. At the top in white, you can see the basic attributes, magic resistance plus 15, and then right below we have the bonus attributes, critical damage plus 100, and fire damage plus 1%. So something important to take note of if you are a newer player is I could end up getting another Savagery necklace, and it's probably not going to be exactly the same as this one. In fact, it's much more likely that it's going to be different than it's going to be exactly the same, because there's a lot of different bonus attributes that you can end up getting on gear, and not only are the actual bonus attributes probably going to be different, but the values of them can be different as well. So say I did end up getting another Savagery necklace, and it somehow did have critical damage and fire damage, well, the actual numbers, which this one has plus 100 and plus 1%, those could be different as well. So there's quite a bit of RNG when it comes to bonus attributes. Now, something I can't show as an example on that, let's go ahead and take a look at the black market for this and look up a piece of gear, is sometimes you'll notice if you look at bonus attributes, you'll end up finding a piece of gear that has a purple stat. And that does mean something pretty important. Here we go. So as you can see, bonus attributes, now we've actually got a number in purple here, strength plus 14. Well, what this means is that that strength roll on this piece of gear rolled to the maximum value. So you cannot roll a higher strength roll than plus 14 on this magical rune top. That's important to know because as you get to the later stages of gear progression, not only do you have to be looking for good bonus attributes and good stats, but you also have to be hoping that you end up getting pretty good rolls as well, because it's one thing if you end up getting what you're looking for, but then you're kind of out of luck if the roll is pretty low itself. So there are plenty of ways to actually change bonus attributes, so I'll go over that very briefly, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys a big list of bonus attributes and kind of highlight which ones are going to be better or worse. So there are going to be ways to change bonus attributes. First of all, different pieces of gear are just going to have different bonus attributes, so you can always farm out multiple copies of gear and try to just go for the ones that you're looking for that are going to be best for your character. But there's a few other options here as well. You've got the change attributes button right here. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to change the bonus attributes of level 50 or higher, epic or better armor or accessories. Now note that it doesn't say weapon, and it's actually not letting me pick my epic weapon here. So this will work for armor and for accessories, and what you can do is you can end up using these crystals that you've probably been gathering, as well as crystal fragments and meta cells, and it will allow you to change the attributes on armor and accessories, but unfortunately not for weapons. Now there's some scrolls and other items that we can end up getting that will allow us to do some more work with changing attributes. As you can see, I have the epic bonus reroller for accessories. We also ended up getting a couple for weapons and armor as well. I know you get a couple of free ones when you end up getting to level 60, so definitely look out for those in your level up rewards, but for the most part, it is still going to be pretty important to try to look for and get lucky with the bonus attributes that you are looking for. Now, what bonus attributes are you going to be looking for? Well, let me go ahead and show you guys a list here. So I'll show you guys a screenshot on the screen. Here we go. And as you can see, there are quite a few bonus attributes that you can get. So yes, you are going to need RNG on your side when it comes to gearing up in Maplestory 2. So we've got bonus attributes separated into a few different categories. We have offensive and defensive, and then we have flat increases and percentage increases. Now, I have a second screenshot that I'll go ahead and show you guys as well, and the second screenshot is going to be my opinions on what are going to be the stronger and the bonus attributes that you want to prioritize looking for versus the ones that might not necessarily be as big of a priority. Now, keep in mind that this is obviously my personal opinion. Some people might disagree or agree on a couple of things that I will say, but there's definitely some pretty important things, and one big thing in particular when it comes to bonus attributes that you want to be on the hunt for. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the second screenshot right now. Here it is. As you can see, it looks very similar, except now we've got a couple of things highlighted in red and in blue. And let's go ahead and take a look at what is probably going to be the most important bonus attribute right now, and the thing that you're really going to be looking for on a lot of your gear. That is going to be the thing highlighted in red to the right, which is piercing. This is going to be probably the one attribute that you really want to be on the hunt for when it comes to a lot of your gear, because it is very, very good. And you want to try to get up to, I believe it is 30% piercing when it comes to raids and boss fights. Now, right below it, we have physical piercing and magical piercing. And something that you're going to notice, and what can be a little bit deceiving as a newer player, is when you end up looking at the bonus attributes, piercing, physical piercing, magical piercing, you're going to notice that the actual piercing roll without physical or magical in front of it, it's going to be a lot lower than a physical or a magical piercing roll. You might end up getting a weapon, just for example, that has 3% piercing on it, but then it has 7% physical piercing, 7% magical piercing, you know, something along those lines. The physical or magical piercing roll is going to be a lot higher. Don't let that deceive you or trick you. It's a little bit strange, but even though the actual roll on piercing is lower, because of the way that the scaling on the stat works, it is still going to be better than specifically physical or magical piercing. Now, I'm not saying physical or magical piercing are bad. They are still going to be good, and they are still rolls that you want to be looking for, which is why they are highlighted in blue. But just regular, plain old piercing, even though the number is lower, is going to be the #1 priority stat that you're going to be hunting for when it comes to the bonus attributes. So then we got a couple of other things in blue as well, but let's go ahead and switch over to the defensive stats. The other thing that I have highlighted in red is health. This is going to be a defensive stat, and the reason why I have health highlighted is just because it really does apply for everyone. Health is always going to be useful for you. Even if you can end up dodging mechanics and you can end up avoiding them a lot, having more health is just overall going to give you more maneuverability in the game, and in a way, having more HP is really going to increase your DPS because it'll allow you to ignore certain mechanics or kind of overlook little things here and there, and it'll just allow you to play the game a bit more optimally. So health is definitely one of the bigger defensive stats that you want to be looking for. Now let's go to switch back over to the offensive stats, and you can see that there are a whole bunch of them, and a lot of them are stat specific or element specific, I guess you could say. We have like ice damage, fire damage, electric, poison, dark, and holy. And a really good thing about bonus attributes, actually, and an interesting thing to note, is it's probably going to be easier for you when you end up getting a piece of gear to tell if it's got bad attributes than if it has good attributes, because a lot of stat rolls are just not really going to be helpful for you. For me, as an example, I'm playing a wizard, and the only really viable spec for a wizard right now is playing the fire spec. So if I end up getting ice damage, electric damage, poison damage, all those things, they really aren't going to be doing anything for my character because I'm only using fire damage. Obviously, this is going to depend on every single character. Depending on the class that you play, obviously the elements that you use are going to be a bit different, but this is something that you should be able to figure out for yourself is, you know, if I don't use electric damage, then electric damage isn't really going to do anything for me. If I do use electric damage, well, then electric damage is probably not going to be too bad of a bonus stat. So when you break it down and you actually look at all the bonus attribute rolls, you're going to just notice that most of the rolls are going to be bonus damage rolls or damage reduction rolls for stats that really aren't going to help you out that much, and it should be pretty easy to tell that they're probably not going to be that great for you. So a couple of other really good ones on the right that I have in blue are bonus boss damage and total damage bonus. Those are just good because, again, this can be applied to everyone. Everyone could always benefit from having more boss damage. Everyone could always benefit from having more total damage bonus. And everything that isn't highlighted, it's not necessarily bad. Don't think of it as, oh, if he didn't highlight it in red or blue, it's bad. It just means that it's not going to be necessarily beneficial for everyone, or it's going to be a little bit more specific for a certain class or a certain build. The things in red and blue are going to be really good for pretty much everyone. So then we go back to the last couple of things on the left, which are going to be movement speed and attack speed. Again, movement speed, just it's always going to be helpful in boss fights and playing the game to have more movement speed. It's going to be easier to dodge stuff. Movement speed is just great, and same with attack speed. But again, just because it's not necessarily highlighted doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's going to be a little bit more specific towards a certain build or a certain class. So with that being said, that's a little bit of an introduction to bonus stats on gear. And one little note that I will make for the slightly more advanced players, to those of you guys who are running hard mode dungeons right now, when it comes to weapons, is I'll go to show you guys my bank safe as a little bit of an example here. Is I am saving up quite a bit of the warrior staffs from Fire Dragon, And this is going to be the primary weapon that you're going to be using for Chaos Raids when they do come out. I got one really, really good one, as you can see right here. But my suggestion is, because it is a bit more difficult to change the bonus stats on weapons. It can be done, but it is more difficult because you can't end up doing it through the change attributes for armor and accessories like you would normally be able to. I would end up saving a bunch of the weapons, not only to try to hunt for really good bonus attributes, but also you're going to end up needing these weapons for enchanting your weapon past +10. You'll need several copies of it as an actual enchantment material. But anyway, now I'm getting into enchanting and not bonus attributes, so I'd probably have to make an entire separate video about that if you guys wanted more information. But those of you guys who are on the step of farming hard mode dungeons, definitely make sure you guys are saving copies of your weapons for hunting those bonus attributes and also for enchanting. So anyway, this is a little bit of a basic introduction to bonus attributes, which ones are going to be good for you, and just some information about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video and it helped out, leaving a quick like, it really does mean more than you can even imagine, so thank you very much. If you guys are newer, of course, if you're interested in more Maplestory 2 videos, consider subscribing as well. So thank you again, guys. We are at over 6,200 subscribers. That's going to be about it for this video, so thank you guys for watching. And as I always do in the last 10 to 15 seconds, I will mention that there is a monthly giveaway that we do on the channel, just as my way of saying thank you and giving back. It is for an iTunes or Google Play gift card. Link is in the description. All you have to do is be a subscriber of the channel for 2 tickets, and then leave a like or a comment on the video for a bonus ticket that gives you a total of 3 tickets and 3 chances to win. Thanks again, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.